What's up, Electroheads? I am on location for a shoot today. I'm at a press launch and I'm going to give you some clues as to where I am. So firstly, here's my view out the window. Can you spot any clues there? How about this one? This is quite a good one. Separate sheets and separate mattresses. It can only be Germany. I'm here for the Volkswagen's press launch of the brand new VW ID Buzz. They have a long wheelbase now, and they've got a GTX coming to market as well. Very exciting. I've actually never been behind the wheel of a Buzz, so I'm very, very keen to crack on. Should we go? Go on, let's go look at them. Let's go.
Whilst I make my way over, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest EV news and reviews of myself, then make sure to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss another video. Well, look what we have here. The keys to the long wheelbase. Let's just quickly take this in. I mean, first up, I chose the yellow because I think it looks so nice. There was an option of blue as well, but I thought yellow's gonna pop today. Look how long this vehicle is. So they have added 250 millimeters to make this a long wheelbase, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in a much nicer location, but I think we should head on in, right? Instantly, just the room in here, it is vast. So I have here with me the 7-seater option. And can we just take a look at this, please? What a gorgeous addition to the vehicle. Now, this is optional, this panoramic sunroof, and it's the biggest sunroof that VW have ever made. During this drive, one thing I really want to make sure we keep an eye on is the range that we have. So it's saying it's got 95% range, 424 kilometers. We have a distance of 113 kilometers. So let's see how we do. I've got about a 2-hour drive to do. It's going to be taking me on a very scenic route. So I think I'm actually going to stop there and talk a bit more about the vehicle. So I just kind of want to crack on and get driving because time is of the essence. Christ, this thing is big. Oh, seatbelt just pulled me in. Whilst I take my first drive, let's skip forward to show you around this lengthy vehicular. I've had about an hour or so drive in the VW ID Buzz, and we're going to come on to driving a little bit later. I'm mixing up the order, but I am here in the sticks, the perfect location to tell you a little bit more about the 2025 VW ID Buzz latest edition. So what is new about the 2025 ID Buzz? Well, first up, they've added a new motor to it, so it's a little bit more powerful. They've added a bigger battery to it. Of course, with the long wheelbase, you are getting a much bigger battery, but even that standard wheelbase, you are still getting about 2 kilowatt hours extra. And they've also elongated the Buzz so that you are getting more space, to the point where 7 seats now come as standard, but you are able to opt in for either 5, 6 or 7 depending on your needs. So this vehicle is nearly 5 meters long. They have elongated it by about 250 millimeters. The width of the Buzz is still the same, but they have managed to fit a lot more space in this vehicle thanks to making it longer. They also have, rejoice, electrically powered sliding doors. And as we come into the back here, let's just kind of look at how we can configure the space. So we can bring them down like that so you can jump into the back very easily. There is so much leg room here. And with 7 people in this car, you have 306 litres in the back here, which is very decent, bearing in mind you've got a full house. Okay, now I'm going to put all the seats down, so I'm going to show you exactly how much space there is in the long wheelbase and tell you exactly the literage. And in total, this is just shy of 2,500 litres. What I thought was actually really cute about the VW press pack was the fact that they were saying 2,469 litres. This is perfect in terms of spacing if you want to put in a paraglider. And I'm like, paraglider? They clearly know who they're targeting. Paragliders, guys, if you're looking for a vehicle, this is it. But this is what this vehicle is designed for. It's for going out on those big trips, for taking all your family, taking all your things, taking your skis, your surfboards, your camping stoves, your tents, your mattresses, everything you need for a badass adventure with this vehicle to get you there and to get all your things there with you. And also when you open the boot, I just want to show you, electric tailgate of course. I love the storage compartments. Obviously this isn't new at all, but this is the first time I'm seeing it and I just think it's so smart. And in here is all the charging cables and things that you need. So it's just really nice and neatly compact and tucked away, so you don't need to be worrying about any of that. You've also got here, as you probably may already know, the tow bar popped out there. so you can tow things. So this version of the Buzz can tow up to 1,000 kilograms. The GTX, 1,800. Yeah, because it's more powerful, don't you forget. And I'm gonna come on to that later. However, I do think a pitfall here from the Buzz Pro is for anyone who would like to use this vehicle as a tradesperson. The payload weight isn't anything to sing about. Depending on the trim, it falls between 401 kilograms to 596 kilograms. Okay, but I also want to quickly just come in the back and show you something very important. You see this? I'm gonna just press the button. Ah, like magic. We now have electric sliding windows, so I can just take in the breeze.
Okay.
We've also got charging ports on each side of the doors, and we have climate control as well for the back here. Again, loads of leg room in the back here. But speaking of room, I know a lot of you want to know if this will be available as a cargo option. VW have said they will not have a cargo option available, at least for the moment. They've had a very busy year apparently, and they are focusing on the VW Transporter, the electrified version. So that is available for cargo. This currently is not. Aww. And a quick tour of the front here. We have electric adjustments for the seats, which is great. You're able to control everything you need up here. So we've got the windows as well. Lights can change here. This is also a very large wing mirror, which is great for visibility. Again, great visibility. Large, big, open windscreen. Haptic touch, we don't need to talk about that. 12.9-inch screen, much bigger. The software itself, they have updated it, so it's all brand spanking new. Let's just have a quick scroll. It's just your classic VW interface. I have to say, temperature control and whatnot, you obviously just do need to get used to that being there and knowing where the buttons are. I'm a bit more of a buttons and knobs kind of gal, but hey, each to their own.
That's what she said.
So many areas for storing all your bits and bobs. You have here, of course, for when it gets icy, you can scrape the windows and all the usual bits and bobs. They've got the sort of the cup holder thing and the opening cans and whatnot. In fact, I feel bad I didn't show these. How did I miss these? Onboard meal right there. And last but not least, now we're in the front. Let's switch up this pano roof. I'm gonna press this button. Oh! Oh, if the kids got in the front, this would be way too much fun for them. Dad would get annoyed, that's for sure. Okay, I've been talking too much, haven't I? Should we go for a drive? Let's go for a drive. We're gonna rewind to when I first left. So as I said earlier, this is very special for me because I have not yet been behind the wheel of an ID Buzz, so I feel very grateful that I'm able to get straight into the 2025 edition, long wheelbase. Now I'm going at about 90 kilometers per hour at the moment, just taking it slow, getting used to the vehicle. As I've said, it's very spacious. There's room to spread out. I've got my armrests here, but in terms of feel, it feels so like responsive first and foremost, which I wouldn't have actually expected. I would have thought it would be a little bit more like slow and sluggish because it's quite a big vehicle, isn't it, really? Now I'm gonna pick it up a bit to kind of top speed just to see how that feels. Right, we're at the speed limit now, 130 kilometers an hour. When you hit those top speeds, you can really hear the wind hitting against the vehicle. Because let's be real, it's basically like driving a fridge freezer, this one, isn't it? It's humongous. The aerodynamics are not really made for that kind of cutting through the air, let's be real. Now what I have to say just driving through these smaller villages and towns is smaller roads, there's more obstacles, there's thinner gaps to squeeze through, and I feel really aware of the size of this vehicle. It's really hard to explain, but do you guys have this when you get into a new vehicle? You have to be a little bit more cautious when you're driving, a bit slower. I'm not really finding this at all with the Buzz, and I think there's that element of because I am sat up so high, I've got such a good scope of what is around me, but I'm really not struggling at all with this. I mean, it'll be interesting to see when I start parking it, if that's still the same case, but I'm sure all the lovely additional parking features included on the Pro will help me out. The ID Buzz being a family skewered vehicle is packed full of driver and passenger safety features that has earned the Buzz a 5-star rating from Euro NCAP in 2022. Forward collision warning and automated emergency braking helps protect you and your passengers from frontal collisions. Electronic stability control helps prevent skids and loss of control. Tyre pressure is constantly monitored, and travel assist with swarm data takes the Buzz one step closer to automated driving.
And how can I forget about the head-up display? This kind of thing, it just feels so normal to have now in an electric car, but this is the first time that they've put the head-up display into the VW ID Buzz, and it just gives you all the information that you need to know. But it's got the speed limit, it's got the speed that you're going at, it's also got the navigation as well to tell you how far you've got until you need to make your next move. And what I have noticed, which is really nice about the ID Buzz, is with those safety features that come included. Obviously, when you have somebody coming up close to you, you've got the little light springing up here to let you know that there's a bit of a danger. When I'm kind of taking in the views and I slightly veer off so I get closer to the white line, the steering wheel just kind of pulls me back in, it just recorrects me, which is really nice. And on here as well, we do have the lane assist and that spacing assist as well to make sure that you are staying a nice distance from the other road users. I'm actually going to see what mode I'm in, because oh, that's a red light. This is the perfect opportunity to see what mode I'm in. Oh damn, I'm in comfort and I'm here like, damn, this is talky. Okay, I think we just switch up to sport mode. This is the perfect chance to test the acceleration. So this vehicle has a 0 to 62 in 7.9 seconds. Here we go. Ow! Whoa! Right, I was at 70. Sorry, apologies for the screaming. I really got pushed back into my seat there. And this isn't even the GTX. So I can really see how these vehicles can tow, because they got some power. All right, well, I've made it. I've done the full 2-hour loop, plus a little stopover at the wind farm. And let's see how many kilometers we got. It's in kilometers, it's not miles. Let's just work with it. So earlier on, when I started my trip, you will have seen that I had 425 kilometers available for me to use, and it was at 95% battery. Now, at the end of my trip, we have exactly 69% left and 309 kilometers. And if my maths is mathing, the total of that is 116 kilometers, which has been used, but the journey itself was 110 approximately kilometers. So it's pretty close. And bearing in mind, I had the aircon on, I was playing some music at some point, I was giving it some electric gas when I needed to.
So the predictive range is pretty accurate, and if we take a quick glance at the Buzz's data, we can see in terms of efficiency, I was getting 18.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which according to this graph right here, that's a pretty average efficiency result. Given the shape of this vehicle, that doesn't come as much of a surprise. So what about those big drives when a top up to get to your destination is essential? How fast can the 2025 Buzz Pro Editions refuel? For a rapid charge, you can get up to 185 kilowatts DC for the 79 kilowatt hour option, or a whopping 200 kilowatts for the 86 kilowatt hour battery, achieving 5 to 80% charge in just 30 minutes. Max charge speed with Type 2 AC is 11 kilowatts across the board, giving you a 0 to 100% charge in around 7.5 hours.
Well, it's farewell to my trusty steed for the day and hello to the GTX. Now, from the outside, there isn't too much that's different apart from the key colouring here. You have this cherry red, which is for the GTX only, and then down here you have 21-inch alloy wheels. I'm not sure what I think about the two-tone, the silver and the red. Don't think it's quite my style, but I get what they're doing here. They're trying to make it a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more sporty. Now, actually on the front here, you can see that they have changed up the grille, so you can identify the GTX from this here. But I think it's time to get inside. So let's see what seating they've given us. This is available as a 7-seater with a long wheelbase, 6 or 5. It looks like they have given us 5. Ooh, let's go around the back and see the storage capabilities. So yes, here you can see they have completely removed the back row, which opens up the back for so much storage. So I've been told that this is the standard wheelbase, which means that I can get back here 1,121 litres and even more when you fold this middle row down. And into the throne I go. Detailing wise, you can see from the get-go, it is very much about the colour red. You've got the red stitching here on the seats, red stitching here on the steering wheel, and that little red accent there. Oh, and don't forget, is a GTX, and some branded GTX seating there as well with that red embroidery. I mean, detailing is detailing, but we're here for the performance, for the feel. How does it go when you put your foot down on the pedal? Let's find out. We have four-wheel drive in this baby. With a 0 to 62 in 6.1 seconds and a 340 PS from the dual motor. Can't wait to get this baby going. Let's make sure we are in. Get out of comfort, girl. Get into sport. Let's drive. Ooh. Careful on the pedal there. Bloody hell.
The GTX's new electric motors can deliver a powerful 250 kilowatts. And just like the Pro, the GTX comes with 2 battery sizes and 2 wheelbases. The range for the GTX hasn't yet been confirmed, but in terms of mileage, it probably sits around the mid-200s. Just like the Buzz Pro, AC and rapid charging are available for the GTX with up to 200 kilowatts for the 86 kilowatt hour battery option, meaning a 10 to 80% charge in less than 30 minutes.
We're getting on a big boy road. I'm just gonna slow down so I can really get that acceleration. Okay, let's go! Whoa. Holy moly, that was beautifully quick. I went straight up to 100 there, straight up, like no hesitation. I mean, look, with an electric motor, it's always instant, isn't it? But that was powerful, that was torquey. The steering is so responsive. It's very, very accurate. Branding this vehicle as GTX means that VW have had to make sure that it hits the notes of something that is accurate, that's sporty, that's responsive. And in this short time alone, it doesn't feel like a people carrier, I'll tell you that. When I tell you I am putting micrograms onto the pedal and it's responding, this is a surefire ankle strengthening workout, because you have to balance your foot, you have to hover it so gently to make sure it's staying in the speed limit that it needs, like 60 kilometers right now, and I'm having to be so tentative for the amount of weight that I put down with my foot. Here we go, foot down. I'm gonna slow down. Oh! Did you see anything move? There was stuff in the car that just flew back. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is fun. I am so pleased that I went from the long wheelbase to the GTX, because the difference in terms of power, and I thought the long wheelbase felt quite powerful, it's night and day. Can you hear that? Yeah. That wind noise again. I mean, of course, nothing's really changed in terms of the actual shape of the vehicle. You can really hear it, and I'm going at like near 100 kilometers an hour. And the faster you get into 110 to the 120s, yeah, it's loud. You can kind of feel the wind pushing around against you. This is a big blocky vehicle. And just like that, I'm back where we began. I'm gonna let this baby go and let's wrap up. Well, whether or not you are a fan of the ID Buzz, it has to be said that VW have created a form factor in the EV market that no one else is really doing. Here on the Electroheads channel, you all know that we love silly, wacky electric vehicles. And although this is not silly and wacky because there is a lot of functionality and utility to it, you can't help but love it really, can you? It's so adorable, and the people that do have one have spoken so highly of it. Now, obviously it's not for everybody, but it is a great addition to the market, and it's not another SUV, because although people think they want SUVs, doesn't mean you actually need an SUV. Pricing on the GTX is not yet announced, and just the pricing in terms of the long wheelbase, it's a bitter pill to swallow. It starts at just under £60,000. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's a fantastic electric vehicle. And so thank you so much to VW for letting me come along for the ride today. And I think it's time to go get some dinner. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button and make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel for more content just like this. And I'll see you for the next one.